Therapy Army. Let's be having you, Therapy Army. Let's be having you. Google said, whenever we do badly, does it go for the fan base? Wants the rumors about Delhi suddenly re-emerge? Whenever we do so badly, something does not go as the fan base wants. The rumors about Dale. Google, please explain that to me. Oh, the sale. Sorry, the sale. Yeah, big up the sale. Yeah. Oh, yeah, always. Come on now. You know the score. PR, Spinfc, mate. PRFC. This is who we are. Big up, Sheikh Ariane Rashid. Big up, Nurdin. Everyone doing well. I hope everybody's doing well. Big up, Jack. Those journalists are actually taking the piss with the sales news. Yes, Glazers are Arnold, out. They're not fit for the purpose. Of course they're not. Love and light, people. Love and light. There's a brother, hard times ahead for us United fans. Yeah, big up, brother. Love and light, man. Love and light. Therapy. Let's be having you on this beautiful Wednesday night. We have here to stick into the toxic positivity crew who try to gaslight us into thinking we're wrong. No, they flip-flop. OS, you know the score. OS, you know the score. Big up to everybody. Love and light. Smash a like on your way in, man. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I think we're 200 away from having 8,000 subscribers. This is a credit to you guys and credit to the fan base. As always, love and light. Nura, what are you doing, big bro? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Love and light, bro. I hope you're well. Big up to you. Big up Alien Tenors. Big up Nuri in the chat. Yeah, man. Love and light always. There we are. Mason Mount injured could be blessing in disguise. Well, it is what it is. Spin sugar. That's what it is, mate. Spin sugar. Big up Gronny. Big up. Emerson says, big up Nuruddin. Big up to you, bro. Amen. Not Emerson. Amen. Big up Nuruddin. I just wanted to give my opinion. I feel this season will be bad season, but it will be a win overall for me if we get the Glazers scum out of the club. I still believe in Erik Ten Hag. Now, 100%. Erik Ten Hag, we have to back him. But by the way, there is a big difference questioning the manager, questioning the result, questioning the tactics, questioning the in-game management, and then having a kind of a like saying that Erik Ten Hag out. Nobody. I mean, if you're Erik Ten Hag out, then you must not wanted him. So I understand if you do not want Erik Ten Hag to be manager of Manchester United, and now you're Erik Ten Hag out, you're going with your agenda and you want him out. So that's fine. That's an opinion to have. It's just a football opinion, people. It's not that deep. But the nuanced conversation is you can criticize the manager, the players for the performance on a weekend because they're all together. It is what it is. So Butio, of course, man. Hold tight. If you know, you know. Who knows the Subbuteo, mate? Who knows? What do you know about Subbuteo? What do you know about Subbuteo, people? Big up. The memories. There you go, Alien Tenno. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Appreciate you always. Neil Ashton working overtime at the moment, of course, bro. You know what? He's got army now. He's got a trolling farm on Twitter that try to come after me, try to come for me. People I've never interacted with, even though you're just negative. When is the next live culture? You know what? I'm actually gonna be doing one, maybe one on the presser. Maybe we'll do one on the presser on Friday. People can react to Erik Ten Hag's press conference. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Big up to you though, bro. Definitely would want people to come and tune in. Cheer up, Nordin. Do you know this club? Yeah, you know this club so well. You know their next move so well. Of course, Johnny. We know, man. We know. Everybody's in the know. Overmars kept Erik Ten Hag check over signings Ajax United. He has a free reign damage in the football. Listen, at the end of the day, it's you have to use all of the best. The football club has to always think about the football club. Has to decide what kind of style of football they're going to play. Employ the manager and play players that can play that football. And then you hire managers that can play that football after you, if even the stuff goes wrong with the manager. What free reign? Ten Hag hasn't got on his top targets. Of course he didn't. He hasn't. Yeah, bro. Well, Glazonomics is in full effect. He can never have his full reign. Never have his full reign. We're still losing behind closed doors 3-0, company smoking us. Can you believe? I'm done with this team. Deserve it in. I've had enough of Erik ten Hag and his trash sidings. Listen, I think you must have been Erik ten Hag out from days Techers. I think we're panicking a bit too early. I do think that every manager who manages at Manchester United has sometimes 2 arms tied behind their back, but usually 1 arm tied behind their back. So we just have to be patient. At the end of the day, the window is what dictates the type of football. A lot of our players are shattered from last season, and it is what it is, people. So big up, love and light. Evening, Rodin, I hope you're doing well. There's so much noise from Erik ten Hag out. It's shocking. OT crew. Yeah, listen, I'm not going to lie to you. You know what? I think people are touching. I think some people just want attention to say that, genuinely. Unless you didn't want Erik ten Hag out. You know what I mean? Unless you wanted Erik ten Hag out. So it's a bit for me. It's a bit too much for me. Big up, Mundo. How you doing, Mundo? Big up, man.
Not too bad.
How we doing? Love and light, bro. Love and light. Manchester United are so predictable on and off the pitch. Of course we are. Predictable FC. Here we go. Here we go. Mundo, talk to me. How are you doing, bro? You good?
Yeah,
how are the rascals?
They're good. They're good. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Of course I can hear you. Talk to
me.
I
thought I'd frozen. Yeah, they're good. They're good.
Yeah, good. Love and light. Big up, JR. As an already Manchester United fan, need to be aware there's an agenda being fed by Manchester United here. There's a debaselize United by triggering this Ten Hag, not the right man story. And Erik ten Hag we trust. Listen, at the end of the day, what are we going to do? Sack another manager and then repeat the process, and then get the players that he bought out, and then buy the new manager bought, and then they get sacked when they don't succeed. At the end of the day, everybody understands and knows the real problem is not any of the managers. We've had some of the greatest managers in football: Ten Hag, Jose Mourinho, Louis van Gaal. We've had those kind of managers. So it's not the managers. It can't be the managers. Yeah, it is what it is, people. Love and light. Mundo, talk to me. Mundo, where are you sitting on Erik ten Hag at the moment? Where are you sitting on the frustration? And Mundo, can you just explain and explain to some of, especially the younger fans? You can criticize the manager. You can criticize his in-game management. You can criticize his tactics. You can criticize the result. You can criticize the team lineup. You can criticize like the whole overall performance, and that doesn't make you are the manager out. Can you just explain to people how that works? What that's called?
Alex Ferguson is the greatest ever Manchester United manager, certainly in my lifetime, and I criticised him, and other fans of our generation criticised Fergie at times. But it doesn't mean you want the manager out. You're allowed to question your managers. This is not a dictatorship. You can question your manager's decisions. Pep Guardiola has cleaned up in the English Premier League. He's won every trophy in England, and plus he's just won the Champions League. And up until that point of him winning Champions Leagues, everyone questioned him about his tactics in Europe. It doesn't mean that people were calling for Pep to be sacked or saying that he's not a good manager. So
100%.
Of course, if Ten Hag does things wrong, you can highlight that. Liverpool fans criticise Klopp. Every football fan has an opinion, and sometimes your opinion is not the same as what the manager's opinion is. But the thing is, the manager gets paid to do the job. So ultimately, what if we're criticising him? It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's not going to impact Erik ten Hag's decision making, is it? It's not like going to say, "Oh, wait a minute, Mundo said this, so I better not put Rashford up."
Mundo, can you just tell people about Fergie? How Fergie used to get criticised? People are like, he's done out here. He don't know what he's doing. What we used to say about Fergie.
Yeah, Fergie got criticised. Fergie,
especially in the transfer window when he came out with, "There's no value in the market protecting the Glazers." We could see that from a mile off.
Yeah, and we were crying out for a midfield for the best part of 5, 6, 7 years. And we saw some midfield combinations. You know, we saw the De Silva twins played in there, Ryan Giggs, John O'Shea,
Phil Neville.
But to be fair to him, even with no midfield, he still won trophies and got us to 3 Champions League finals in 4 years. Exactly.
Yo, big up Nurabeats in the chat, man. Go and check out Nurabeats football analysis, man. He's a
But
Liverpool fan.
the reason why you can't criticize in today's day and age is because people have lost the art of argument, and people do not recognize nuance. It's either black or it's white, right?
I think
So if you
social
criticize
media's
the
added to
manager, that means you want him out, and that's not the case. So, if you want to have an adult grown-up conversation about Ten Hag, then of course you have to shine a spotlight on some of the things that he's doing wrong. And let's be honest, I have to be honest, because I back Ten Hag. I mean, I've even got a picture with Ten Hag. You've seen it, right?
Yeah,
you know how much I like the guy.
I think that should be your profile picture on here, Mundo.
Yeah, maybe I should put it on here, right? I have a picture with next to Erik Ten Hag.
Yeah. Had a little chat with him.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Mundo personally met Erik Ten Hag and I had a proper chat with him. I met him, but with a cycling group. I met him out in Cheshire. Him and his wife. I just said hello. But if he was on his own, I would have said, "Don't ever do that again. What you did at Liverpool. Don't ever do that."
Yeah, exactly. That was a disgrace. But at the same time, I would have expected Manchester United at this point, having had a full season, 2 windows, or 3 windows, but I'm not counting January because he was shafted, and a pre-season, I would have expected my team to have some form of identity in the way that it plays, the playing style, and so on and so forth. But I'm not seeing it. So fans are getting disgruntled because it's not just about the results. It's about the entertainment, the level of football that we're seeing. And at the moment, because we have to keep it consistent. We criticize Mourinho because of the style of football. We criticize Ollie, saying, calling him Ollie going to freestyle and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We criticize Louis van Gaal.
Yeah.
So Ten Hag is not immune to criticism. And
100%.
I would challenge any Man United fan to come on here in the chat or whatever and argue against the point that Manchester United, at the back end of last season and the start of this season, the football has been atrocious. It's the worst. I would say it's definitely in the bottom 3 or 5 in terms of the 20 teams in the league. The style of football and what we're seeing is definitely in the bottom 5. I think there's been at least, I can name at least 15 teams that have played better football. Even the ones that have been promoted. Even Burnley played better football than Man United at the moment.
Facts.
Our football is dreadful, absolutely horrendous, and it's not the results that I'm worried about. It's the style of play, and if we continue playing the way we're playing now, we have to. The one thing we have to do is we have to give the manager time to correct it, to make it right.
Facts. It's 2 games.
Yeah, it's only 2 games, so we can't be reactionary and say get him out and all this stuff.
To me, if it's 15 games and nothing's improving, then we're in trouble. Or 10 games, you know what I mean? Then we're in trouble. But go ahead, Mundo.
No, hey, like I'm seeing like people saying in the comments, he's got players from 5 managers and talk about possession stats and so on and so forth. But I'm sorry, how many players has he now brought in that his players? We bought into the idea that if we replaced our goalkeeper, the football would be better, right?
Mm-hmm.
That the goalkeeper, that the reason why we were playing hoofball, right, was because David De Gea couldn't kick the ball, right? He was uncomfortable with the ball at his feet. Now you've got one of the best, probably only second or third to maybe Alisson and Ederson in terms of his ability on the ball, or maybe Ter Stegen at Barcelona. But in terms of ball playing goalkeepers, we've got one of the best in the world. So why am I seeing him launch the ball up top to a guy, Rashford, who doesn't jump for the ball? What tactic is that? That is down to the manager. So, of course, you can criticise that. Of course, the Bruno Mount Casemiro midfield isn't working. Of course, you can criticise that. But what the manager has to do now is needs to fix it. So fans can't be jumping up and down saying, get him out. Give the man a chance to fix his mistakes. He's made mistakes. We can all criticise him for making those mistakes. But the most important thing is that he rectifies them. Now, if he continues to make those mistakes, right? Which is why everyone started to turn against Ole, because he kept making the same mistakes over and over again.
Now, facts.
So yeah,
Yeah,
give the man a chance. Give him a chance.
Yeah, facts. Big up Mundo. Mundo, we're going to get into a little bit, obviously. We know where we're at in terms of Manchester United, and you know where we're at in terms of like where like in terms of like Arnold. So now people are Arnold out in terms of because they're like the way he handled the Mason Greenwood situation, and I'm like, so some of you were actually murdered in. So we're like, we've been waiting for you guys like to come to the party. We've been waiting for you to come to the party. So you know, I was thinking how they were gonna spin this story, Mundo, and all of a sudden the story start coming out. So Spinfc starts coming out, and they're now saying, "Oh, the Glazers are going." You know, I mean, Neil Custis comes out from the, you know, don't ever buy that newspaper, people, but that trash of a newspaper comes out, and he's been covering United for over long time, and he's got contacts. So they properly said to him, "Listen, get this story out there for us, please. Let people know, yeah, the ownership, Qatar is coming in. I feel Qatari." Neil Ashton is telling Custis, "I feel Qatar are coming in. Let it be known, lad. Get it out there." And then we get the other one from Sky Carvey and all of that today, and different people saying, "Oh, the bidders are confused and they don't understand what the Glazers are doing." So the both spin is, how can we focus people, whether they believe it or not? Either the Glazers are selling or the Glazers are staying. So get the fans to panic about, or get them to get excited about, are the Glazers going? The Qatar coming in? And then get them worried about, oh, the Glazers are not going. So then all of that stuff, all of the shambles in the last 10 days, and hold tight, is it Adam Crafton, the Athletic, for having the scoop on the story about how they were trying to spin this story 100 different million ways to try to sneak Mason Greenwood through the back door. Now, you can feel whatever you feel, people. We're not going to talk about that, but we're talking about how the football club is run. I've been saying it from a long time, Mundo, that we're run like an absolute amateur football club. We're run like a clown fest. None of them know exactly what they're doing. Glazers will keep you there and keep you in a job, even after you're a failure for a decade, as long as you make them money. And you know what people say? Well, how do you know that? Well, that's an allegation and a half, Mr. Structure. Why would you say that? Case in point, Mr. Woodward. If a guy was a CEO, was a big decision maker in that football club, and he was there after he had failure in any corporate, even if you go along with him about football being corporate and the football club being a business, if we went along with him, any business, any high-level business, any organization, if the CEO has failed 3 to 4 years, you're getting the sack. You're getting the sack, mate. You're getting replaced. So I don't believe Mundo. But what have you thought about the spin and the play? It's like they're like clockworks. They're so easy. I predicted it. We were like, something's gonna come out. How can we? Because people like, you know, Rick Arnold was trending on Twitter for a couple of hours, and all of a sudden, Qatar in. No, Glazers are staying.
It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. Like, and the thing is, as well, is if you're gonna leak some information, find a reputable source. But the Sun, no one is believing that story because it's come from the Sun. I mean, it's laughable, really. And we all know what's going on, right? If you read between the lines, 4 of the Glazers want out. They're Qatari, and 2 of them who are actually the worst 2, the biggest leeches, the ones that have actually destroyed the club, right? Because people want to go in the Glazers, but there's 2 in particular. We all know who they are, Avi and Joel, right? And they want to cling on with their life. So it's the Glazers briefing against one another. Because don't forget, both parties to the potential buyers, they're subject to NDAs. They can't say anything. So any information that we're getting is coming from the club. And I think both sides are briefing against one another. The 4 siblings against the 2 Leach siblings. And that's why we're now getting this story coming out. But in terms of Richard Arnold, I don't know how he's even qualified to have this job. I'm being honest. It's like
no, Mundo, but the fans will tell you, give him a chance. He came out and had a couple of pints with the lads. And he pretended like he wasn't being recorded. That was all set up PR, Mundo. Can you please explain to people? That wasn't the lads, him having a pint with the lads. It was the biggest PR stunt ever.
Yeah, exactly.
And people believed it. People are like, oh, he was shocked that he was recorded. Everybody's got one of these.
and why would he even think that was appropriate? Like, you are the CEO of one of the biggest sports teams and biggest sports brand in the world, right? It's like if somebody started kicking off about McDonald's and the fact that, let's just say, and I'm not throwing anyone under the bus, a bunch of vegans started kicking off about McDonald's burgers. You're not going to get the CEO of McDonald's going down to his local McDonald's, sitting down with him and having a chat, are you? That is just nonsense.
Yeah.
You should never be getting to those people. The person who is the CEO of Manchester United, look, as fans, we want to get access to him, but in reality, yeah, a properly run business, you won't be getting access to the CEO, right? So him just strolling down to the pub and having a chat, of course, it's made up. It's not just this kind of, I went to have a chat with the fans because they were coming to write at my house. Basically, It was a PR stunt. It backfired because everything that he said during that conversation was a pack of lies anyway. And it was also, I think, because what they've tried to do is they've tried to distance, someone had to be the fall guy, which was Woodward, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like they're trying to gaslight the fan base.
Facts.
Everything that happened was all down to this single person, right? It was all down to Woodward. Every decision was his. All the bad signings, all the issues that we've had at our club, they're trying to put on Woodward. I'm sorry, I'm not buying it, because all of the people that were
on the board,
similar
Mundo, Richard Arnold was there for almost 9 years, and he's one of his best friends from Bristol University.
They're all still at the club. Everybody else that was part of that regime, and normally when the top dog goes, everybody else goes, right? You clean house. Everybody who was working with that person, especially when you're trying to assert that person was a failure and is the reason why the club's in the mud, it's his fault, right then. So why didn't you get rid of everybody else that was working alongside him? In fact, you didn't do that. You actually promoted them. You promoted Murta. You promoted Fletcher. You promoted what's his name, Richard Arnold. You promoted Matt Judge, right? Even though now he's fallen on his sword and he's gone. So everything is just PR and spin and nonsense. Woodward, yes, he was a problem, but so was everybody else that was part of that regime, and they're all still there. And people are getting gassed about John Murta. But what's happened now? Our transfer window has kind of, we made 3 signings, everyone was getting gassed.
Yeah.
We're linked with Amrabat, we're linked with this guy, we're linked with that guy.
Mundo, they told me Murta madness.
You know how much we got for Fred? Something like £5 million. I think it's like 13 million euros with add-ons. It's like literally a 30-year-old Brazilian international. You gave him away. You sold him for less than Anthony Elanga.
And the team that had a successful, it was in 4 trophies, that were in 2 finals and finished 3rd place in one of the biggest, hardest league in the world. And he was a key part of that.
And you sell him for peanuts, for nothing. You literally gave him away. And then we're there saying we haven't got enough money for Amrabat. Fred's worth more than Amrabat.
He's got shares at the club. He's not at the club, but he's got shares. Big up, Tracy. Let me just get this quickly, Mundo. Why should the fans bother, Nuruddin? Why should us fans bother? Like it's part, like a part. If it feels like, why should you bother supporting the club this season? City will win the league yet again, another year where this club allows it. Listen, you can never choose your football team, innit? Like, well, you can never go back on your football team. You're gonna always have to support, because the owners are custodians, managers and players come and go, but you as a football fan would always be the fan. So It is what it is. Big up Alien Tunnel for the super chat. Says United are like Asian Rome. Kill to promote, eat to ed. There you go. A bit of what's that? Bit of Latin for you. For having it. Go ahead, Mundo. What are you saying?
No, the thing is that there's nothing. I don't think other than family. I don't think there's any other thing in a lot of people's football fans' lives where they have that emotional investment. So it's almost like when you get these types of owners, it's like being in an abusive relationship. The way that they treat you,
of course,
they gaslight you. They constantly tell you lies. They mistreat you, knowing that you can't turn your back because you've got an emotional investment. It's not like any other. They treat it like a product, but it's not like a product because if I don't like Coca-Cola, I go and drink Pepsi. But if something happens to my club, Manchester United, I'm not going to go to Man City. You will get some fans who do that, trophy hunters, glory hunters. But in the main, most fans are emotionally tied to their club. So they've got us by the balls because we're powerless to a degree. Yeah, we can protest and we can put pressure on and whatever. But ultimately, the fate of our club sits in the hands of 6 people who are not emotionally invested in our club. So they don't give a damn. All they care about is the money that's going in their pocket. So whether or not these rumors are true about Qatar, let's
Mundo.
just all of us just pray to whichever God you pray to that we're rescued from these leeches. We need them gone.
Mundo, that was the biggest spin to how do you make you trending on Twitter go away? You get Qatar trending. Mundo, honestly, they absolutely insult on the intelligence of the fan base. It's unbelievable. I can read it like a book, Mundo, like an absolute book. We got smashed, I think, on the Saturday by Spurs. Guess what? Guess what was all over Manchester United social media? I don't even have the app, but people have it. People were sending me screenshots saying to me, "Look at this." It was all about the women's World Cup and all of that stuff. You're like, wow, I didn't know Man United were playing in a World Cup. But it is what it is, Mundo. Honestly, it is what it is. Big up to everybody. Love and like, 64 likes, and there's 200 of you in here already. We got to get the likes up, people. Don't blow Mirta Arnold. They're puppets in the hands of Avram Joel. Always blame the greedy shit glazers. No, we blame them all. We blame them all. I'm sorry to say, but let me say something to you. Mundo, if you wouldn't got a job, right, and you knew your bosses were going to inflict on your performance of your job, would you stay at that job? Or would you go and get a job where you believed in and you were allowed to do your job?
I would stay in that job if I was completely underqualified for that job and I got that job, because I'm never going to get that job anywhere else, right? Which is one of the reasons why Ole just sat there, right, a United legend, knowing what was going on at the club and just took the paycheck because he knew once I leave Man United, that's it. And the proof's in the pudding. He hasn't got another job. And the same will happen to John Murtough is not going to be a director of football at any other top level football club in England. I can tell you that for a fact. And Richard Arnold is not going to get another. He's never going to be CEO of any club that's even half the size of Man United. If he even gets another CEO job in football at all, he's probably going to, when he leaves Man United, he's going to end up in the private sector somewhere because he's not getting another job in football. So they're just sitting pretty because they've won the lottery. They've all won the lottery because they're never ever in any other world, any other type of situation, going to find themselves in this type of cushy situation where they've got these jobs that they're underqualified for with no accountability, and yeah. So it's like if a fan, it's like a fan winning an opportunity to run Man United. They're not going to turn it down.
No, it's simple. At the end of the day, listen, exactly, Mundo hit the nail on the head. But if you were qualified for the job, you wouldn't want that on your CV. You wouldn't want the fact that you're failing. And actually, the owners are damaging your ability to do the job. You would be like, get me out of here, people. Guys, 200 of you in here. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe, please, because we're 200 away from 8,000. Smash that like on the videos. Smash that like. We're giving you a bit of insight into how the PR spin and how it works in these big organizations. Because we've both been in organizations, me and Mundo. We know how this works. If you are inadequate, if you're a senior manager, if you're the CEO and things are going effed up, you are the person who's gonna get it. You know what I mean? You are the person who's responsible at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, for me, if Murta and Arnold, they're both inadequate to do this job. And nobody can tell me any different. They are. The only reason why they're both staying in the job is because they're never going to be in that position ever again. Woodward has been gone from Manchester United. Why is Woodward, he was so successful, how come he's not being snapped up by these other football clubs to go and be their CEO?
Exactly. You know, there's a term for this. It's called failing upwards, and that's when a business is run badly, that's what happens. People fail upwards to get rewarded for failure rather than being given the boot. How is a club our size with the amount of revenue that we generate having issues with FFP? How has that even happened? Because the Glazers have drained the coffers, and they've just given players who have achieved nothing, who've done nothing for the best part of 10 years, ridiculous salaries, getting paid more than proper ballers like Mo Salah and most of City squad, and we're giving that kind of money to Harry Maguire and Jadon Sancho and these guys. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. Big up Jarvis for joining us. How you doing, Jarvis?
Yeah,
we see you with your t-shirt. Glazers out. Glazers out. Green and gold. No messing about, mate. You know how it is. You know how it is. Big up Jarvis. Love, how are you, bro? How are the kids? Everything good?
Everything good. Everything good. I can't complain. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yo, let people go and check out Man UFC Realist TV. Mick and Jarvis, we were on there. Me, Jay, we were on there earlier, discussing all sorts of things. And if you're into Fantasy Football League and you want to be part of a community, go and check out Man UFC Realist TV, where Mick, Jay, and Jarvis are all playing. So yeah, go and check out. You know what? Get against them. Go and beat them. Beat them. Go on there. Join that community and beat them. Nuruddin, jobs for the boys, guys, at the top from Arnold Murta. Previous links to Manchester United, not because they're good or their jobs. Of course, it is what it is. But yeah, we're just discussing the PR spin. You know, Richard Arnold out was trending, Jarvis. And then all of a sudden we get Qatar in. And then we get, no, Qatar out. Like, we get within what? Within what? 8 hours of each other. Come on, Mick. Come on, Jarvis. Come on. There's only one club that can do that to you. How do we get the whole Mason Greenwood thing and how we handled it and the shambles, what we handled it? Because we are, Manchester United, guys who are in charge of Manchester United are fake it till you make it. They try to fake it till you make it. But the thing about it is that they're not going to make it, but they just keep faking it. So you saw the two stories. You saw how they tried to spin it. And now it's like, oh, people are like, yeah, Qatari. No, the Glazers are staying. Mason, who handling of the shambles, what the club has been for the past 10 days, 12 days, or 2 weeks. No, the Glazers become the story in terms of like Glazers going, Glazers staying. That's what it becomes. So where do you stand on this spin, Jarvis? Do you think genuinely? Do you think that we're that stupid? Genuinely, do you actually believe they believe we're that stupid?
When it comes to this fan base, you know, we are a really bipolar fan base. You know, one moment we're in cloud 7 and next moment we're in hell. This is just the way it is. And we are so many people, you know, and I don't know. Is all the people who are speaking really representing United fans? I think we have it's like a spectrum, and there's vocal minorities on both sides. And I think most people are not that dumb, as you say, Nuruddin. I think most people are sensible football supporters, and they just want to support the club, and they want the best for the club. How and what is the best for the club? That's a matter of opinion, but I think most of them are in the middle, not the vocal minority, as I see it. Especially when it comes to Twitter. Twitter is terrible when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, 100%, 100%. Twitter it is, but the biggest thing for me is the way that how they spin things and how some fans, bless them, they fall for it. They absolutely fall for it. Yeah. I'm just tweeting something saying that we're discussing about the sitting protest as well. Protests.
Yeah, I see
Yeah,
there's a lot of people in the chat. There's over 200 people watching. So hit the like, people. Get
yeah.
get the likes going, like spikes, everybody, because
Mm.
this is one of the best channels out there, and we tell the truth. So don't be afraid to hit the like. If you hate the Glazers, you have to support us.
Yeah, big up. I'm only like 200 short of 8,000 people. So yeah, big up the community. Big up everybody who contributes. Big up everybody who comes on. But Mundo, going to ask you about in terms of the possible protests. Obviously, you're not here. You're not here. Mundo and Mundo's usually in Manchester. We go to the games. He always wants to watch the team. But at this rate, Mundo's like, no, thank you. I ain't coming down just to watch that shy. But big up, people loving the font of your T-shirt. That's brilliant. I don't know where you got that from, but yeah, it is brilliant. Brilliant T-shirt.
Yeah, actually, Mr. Flying Pig HD, you know his channel,
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah, yeah.
Flying Pig. Yeah, he gave it
There
to me because I helped him out in a hard time. So he just sent me a couple of T-shirts. It's a nice gesture. I'm appreciate
there
it.
you
And
go.
I have been looking for Glazers out scarves and shirts and clothes to
Yeah,
wear
yeah.
on the show, but you know it's hard to find.
Yeah.
Maybe
Big.
you can.
Yeah, big.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe we can. I can have a look into that. Big up. We need a new manager. Matthias, Matthias. Big up to you.
Matthias.
Love and light. Thanks for the super chat, but I genuinely think you are falling into the Glazer trap. You're falling into the Glazer trap. The Glazers want you to be Ten Hag out so they can get away with it yet again. How many managers do we have to be out before we realize who the real problem is at this football club? You're a vital member of this community, and you're saying that after 2 games. Come on, man. And after he wanted Kim Min Jae, he wanted Harry Kane, he wants 2 other midfield players, and he's
He
only
wanted
got a
Frenkie de Jong.
goalkeeper. You know what I mean? He's got a goalkeeper. He's got no centre half cover. He's tried to get rid of the Maguire. He didn't sign Maguire. He didn't want Maguire. He's made it clear that Maguire needs to go, and he's still at the football club. So how can the manager be the blame? Please try to explain that to me. Please. I need you to explain it to me. Don't just be like, oh, manager out. I want you to give me a bullet points on why you want the manager out, on what the manager is in charge of, on what the manager has done. Now, by any means, criticize him on his match, team selection, in-game management, substitutions, the result of the day, the team that he selected. You can always do that. But explain to me. Shout out Flying Pig. I need to meet my bro Nuruddin real soon too. It's been ages. Yeah, so we're gonna get some food, man. So let me know what game you're going to. We'll come back on the way back. Yeah. I told you, man, you need to get a bike, Arun. And then so yeah, you cycle with me to the game instead of getting the Ubers, lad. You need to come and cycle with me, come on the road and get there. But Mundo, talk to me. In terms of the protest, in terms of where do you think, obviously you're a big believer that the Glazers have to sell. You still believe that? Are you still confident that they will go, they will have to go?
I think now I'm confident that they will leave at some point. But the problem is I don't know when that point will be. And I don't know how much more of this I can take as a fan. Just watching us slip so far behind. Not just Man City. I mean, watching City do what they did last season is just like the biggest kick in the balls. It's like someone slap. It's like someone punch you in the face. You're lying on the floor and someone runs along and gives you the biggest kick in the balls, like just to rub salt in the wound. Can you imagine how painful that is? Right. That is what we witnessed. What's going to come next? Liverpool winning another league title. I mean, if that happened, that would be it for me. City winning, taking over our record in Champions Leagues. You know, how far do we have to fall before change comes at this club? Because we're not competitive. We're just not competitive. We're so far off it. And the problem is, I'm not even looking at City anymore. I'm looking at Newcastle. Even I watched a bit of Aston Villa today against Hibernia. I mean, even Aston Villa, when you look at the squad they've got, and Brighton, those teams are catching us.
Mm-hmm.
They've got better. Brighton have got a better footballing setup than Manchester United, which is the biggest football club in England. It's like it's insane. So this is untenable. It can't continue for. I don't know. Well, they're going to run out of road sooner or later.
Mm-hmm.
FFP is biting. We've got no cash.
Yeah.
Players are refusing to leave. We don't even have the money to pay them off. So we're haggling with Harry Maguire over 7 million. Just get him out the door.
No, actually, apparently he wants 12 million. The latest report saying that United offered him 6 million, but he wants 12 million. Big up Jay. Is that Jay Daly BT on is that the real Jay? Big up Jay. Maggie Maguire is an absolute charlatan.
Yeah.
And we could have stopped like
go ahead, Mundo. But yeah, apparently he wants 12 million payout from Manchester United. Mundo.
West Ham wanted McTominay, and I think they offered 60 mil for him and Maguire. Just slam another 5 mil on top and get him out the door. The players that the manager doesn't want. Now, there's a difference between letting them walk out literally for nothing, which is what we've been doing. So the only players we have been selling have literally been going for free. You might as well just say they've been going for free. The only player that we've got any kind of money for was Elanga. Every other player that's left the club has gone for peanuts. So 30 million from McTominay, even though it's on the low side, it's a far lot better than any other transfer money that we brought in. And the manager's like, right, the window's about to shut. We haven't got long left. You're telling the manager he has to generate funds. Just get these guys out of the door. But we're not able to do that because the people responsible for this, the Glazers put in place, are not up to the job. So what we want an ownership that treats this club the way it should be treated, which is as one of the biggest clubs in the world. We want the best facilities. We want best in class in terms of everything, sports science, coaches from every single level, from youth level.
Yeah. We want winners. Listen, winners, people who want to win. Yeah.
People who know how to build a winning environment, because the environment that we have at the moment within the club it's like a pity party. Everyone feels sorry for themselves. Marcus Rashford is the embodiment of that. When he gets on the football pitch and something doesn't go right, start sulking, spitting the dummies out, stop running around, walk around the pitch with their heads down like donkeys. It's like, you're professional footballers. Have you got no professional pride? Do you not want to win? Did you not just see what happened last year? What our biggest rivals did, and you don't want to try and knock them off their perch.
Facts.
We've got too much of that in the club. Too much. Apathy. No one really cares. They're just picking up the paycheck, and that comes from the ownership. Because if you had real owners, they'll be like, "No, this is our investment. This is our club.
We only want people who are winners. People who want to win. People who want to win, and people who can hold each other accountable. People that can hold each other accountable. Like it starts. So the vision starts from the owners to the people that they hire, and then it filters down to the coach, to the players, and every level at the football pitch. Everybody being together, having a strategy, knowing what the plan is. And usually football clubs plan, Jarvis, for 5 years. 5 years ahead, they're like, right, let's get this plan into place. This is what the objectives are. This is what we want to achieve. Big up Black Confetti says, this is a live stream and I'm getting ads about cereal, though. YouTube is bold. Listen, I probably think you're a bit hungry, Black Confetti. YouTube's like, yo, I can hear the bear. I can hear stomach rumbling. Yeah, have some cornflakes, man. Have some shreddy wheat.
Probably we've been talking about Richard Arnold, haven't we? He's like one of those characters from like Kellogg's. He's like Tony the Tiger, isn't he? He's like or the monkey from the Cocoa
Listen, I'm telling you that. Listen, Tony the Tiger used to get the job done though. That's great. Is that what you say?
That is true. He'd probably do a better job than Richard Arnold.
I'm telling you. At least he did a job for cornflakes, man. Big up. Maguire acted like a man. Mrs. Dumped. I can't take it for an answer. Ten Hag United. Yo, he's desperate, innit? He's desperate. It's desperate, yeah. But in terms of the football, in terms of like the decision making, Jarvis, I know that you're always a very positive person.
Thank you.
But do you genuinely believe the Glazers are going? Do you believe that? Do you believe the Glazers are going and they've got
Yes.
nowhere to hide? They have to go, yeah?
Yes, I do. I do 100%. I believe they are going. The problem is when for me, not if, because they can't keep it going with this club. Their depth is getting bigger. They every quarter they deliver red numbers. So they're basically going in minus. They can't make money, and there's no dividend to get in this club. So why would they stay? They can't. They okay. Their option is to go down with the ship, and then we will go bankrupt. But they won't do that. They will always go for the money and grab as much money as they can. That's why they will sell the club. Will it happen? Yes. Will it happen this year? I don't know. Yeah.
Sorry, Jarvis. Apologies, Jarvis.
Peter.
Apologies, Alien Tenno saying, Mundo, I have no balls left to kick. Big up, Alien Tenno. No, 100%. I know what you're saying because they have to either get a massive investment, and who's deluded enough to give them that massive investment without them giving them something in return, and which will be even very damaging to the football club. But yeah, 97 likes, people, and we've got 240 people watching. Shame on you all. So I understand definitely where you're coming from. So for me, the biggest things that Glazers were always playing games. I always said about the sale, I have to see it to believe it. That's never changed. I knew they cannot do anything properly, anything with any sort of efficiency. And I actually think when the sale thing is trending, they're like, ooh, our social media. They're like, wow, we're trending. This is what we are, marketable. And they employ specific kind of social media network managers, and that's what they do. They tell them this is what you're trending, this is what's happening. They absolutely love it, because in the modern world which we live in, there's no such a thing as bad PR. There's no thing as bad PR. That's how they see it. But big up, let me just get this to the super chat. Big up to John A. He says, fastest way to fix Manchester United is to appoint a competent director of football, a good scouting team. Ten Hag will just be fine. Well, this is it. I actually think they got rid of some scouts back in the day. Scouts that were questioning and asking questions of Woodward and this. They got rid of them. The club employed all yes people. Yes, whatever you say, putting their head down. That's what they've employed. So, and I know for 100% fact that they don't listen to the scouts. They don't listen to the scouts. They don't really take any notice. They just do what they do anyway. But big up to you. Thank you for the super chat. It is what it is, people. Listen, the protest is going to be a sit-down program. Let me just try to get it up, actually. 1958. Big up to everybody in the chat. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Big up. Yeah, 1958. There we go. Let me just share this with you, people. This was happening. So any of you match goers, please make sure you get involved in this by staying, You need to get involved by staying. Genuinely, you do. You need to get involved. There we go. Let's just share this. Here we go. There it is. You can see this. I'll get this maybe video playing as well, if you bear with me. I'll see if I can get this. So let's hear this. So this is the bit of it. So hopefully you guys can hear it. And fingers crossed I can play it. Big up 1958. I think they want this to get out on people, share it on their social media as well. There we go. Let's go to it. There we go. So first of all, it says they lied to us, they deceived us, they betrayed us, our history, our dignity, our integrity. The ownership stole it all. Rise up, unite, fight back, fight to get it back. Doing nothing will achieve nothing. 60 minutes sit after the Forest game, bit on the right side of history. 1958. There we go, people.
Sir Jim Ratcliffe wants to buy a stake in Manchester United with a view to taking full control.
The sector team has submitted a fifth improved bid for Manchester United. 24 million quid out was talked about 2 months ago. We've got now a decrepit, rotting stadium. You've got a football project where they haven't got a police.
Challenge, incites conflict. That's catastrophe.
There's been a report yesterday suggesting the Glazers are pausing the takeover. These owners, since Sir Alex Ferguson, have proven in 10 years they cannot manage forward-thinking football club. We're now seeing what's happening, and it's a mess, and it cannot continue to go on. It can't.
Boom! There we go, people. Did you get that?
Yeah.
Was that loud and clear? Can you hear it, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, there was a bit of feedback.
Yeah,
I don't know
you
if
can hear
it's
that.
because of mics or something.
Yeah, big up 1958. I'm gonna go to that, back to that, and hopefully, they posted another thing. So let me just go to their thing. So a couple of other things to share from there. They posted that obviously. So they had a couple of Q&As taking place. So if you're on Twitter, follow 1958. Make sure you listen to the recording. They answer the question: why sit protest? Why choose the Forest game? What do we expect to achieve? Behind the scenes plans. Q&A, please. There you go. So there you go, people. You're there, and here we are. This is a very interesting thing actually to see. Even the club staff are handing out protest flyers. They've had enough. We've all had enough. For a sit-in protest, 60 minutes. Nobody recognises our club anymore. From inept, weak leadership to morally bankrupt ownership. There you go, people. You can see that it's there and it's clear, and the message needs to go loud and clear for everybody. So big up to everybody. Big up to the 1958. Glazers out now. Glazers out tomorrow. Glazers out for every second of the day, for every minute of the day, every 24 hours. Shout out everybody. Love and light. There we go. There we go. Mundo, even if the people sitting, like the biggest thing for me why we go to protest, it's not always for the end goal. Most protests are not about the end goal, really. They're about getting together with super like-minded people and saying, I'm not thinking this alone. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this alone. So what you reckon, Mundo, about the sitting? What do you think about the idea of sitting in and staying in the stadium for 60 minutes? You there, Mundo?
Yeah, I'm here. Well, are they going to be able to bring? Well, who's going to see it? Like, the problem I have with that is, if they're sitting in and they've got
you know who's going to see it, Mundo? Everybody's got one of these, and majority of people are on social media, and you know that the Sky TV cameras are not going to go anywhere.
That's what I was going to say. Like mainstream media, it won't be on mainstream media because they'll.
No, but what I'm saying to you, but you know what? Sometimes actually that kind of news might generate some stuff, because at the end of the day they asked about it. Unless the Glazers ask them or beg them, the PR machine begs them not to show it, then it's something different. But I think
the boycott of the stadium is a better idea, just because an empty stadium has more of an impact if you're watching Man United on Sky Sports and the stadium's empty. That for me has more of an impact than people staying behind after the game.
Yeah.
But I know that's been tried before as a tactic and it doesn't work, because unfortunately, people still want to watch their team, don't they? So it's hard to convince people not to go. So as a tactic, that hasn't worked. So I get why they're doing this, because it's easier to get people to stay behind after than it is for them not to turn up to the game.
Yeah.
But I don't know about the effectiveness of it. We'll have to wait and see.
No. to me, the biggest thing, at least they're trying something. I think from football fans to not go and watch their game, it takes a lot, Mundo. And we've tried it. Thousands of us have stayed outside, but it did not look like on TV. It didn't affect that because we got one of the biggest stadiums in the world football. It's 78,000 seater. You know what I mean? 76,000 seater stadium. So if 5,000 are not there, you're not going to notice it. If 10,000 are there, you're not going to notice it. Unless there's 20,000 missing, then you might notice it. But big up to Man UFC Realist TV. Like I said, go and check it out. Go and become part of the community, especially if you're into Fantasy Football League. Go and pick, you know what I mean, pit your wits against man like Jarvis, man like Nick, man like Jay. Go in there, get involved, people. Since I can't buy you a beer, shout out, shout you. My respect, always keep it real, always be true. Big up, love, light, man, always. Big up to you, bro. Appreciate the super chat, but big up to you. Yeah, and United Glory TV says, get 3 games in a row called off and they will sell. Yeah, you know what? Honestly, we can do that. 100% if we can do that. Spurs, what do you expect? Big up to everybody. Smash a like. Jarvis, I'll ask you the same question. Like, do you think this can actually mobilize people? This can do something against the vultures? People sitting in after the game? And do you think that it would get the mainstream media reaction that it deserves?
Well, that's the biggest problem. You know, they never cover anything. You can hear it in the stadium sometimes, but I think they do whatever they can to stop it. You know, they stop fans going into the stadium. They ban their flags. There's no freedom of speech. The Glazers are doing everything they can to stop the protest from getting viral. I think there's a big problem. So now I feel the Glazers out movement is 20,000 people in Manchester who protest every time. They are the hardcore people. And then you have all the Twitter people hashtagging Glazers out and the YouTubers. But basically, I think I can read, for example, the Norwegian supporter magazine that comes out. They hardly never speaks about the Glazers. You know, they are in a way in the pocket of the Glazers, even though they are hardcore Man United fans. And, you know, that's
conflict of interest. Conflict of interest, conflict of them. The Norwegians support fan group getting to meet the players when the players are on tour, lobbying the club to have friendlies in Norway. Conflicts of interest.
But
Once you go to bed with the vultures.
I don't want to go negative on them. They're a great group of people.
No, we're not
going
negative. We're just saying conflict of interest.
Yeah, it's a conflict of interest. Yes, I don't know why, but I think they will lose out. You know, they buy shirts and sell to a reduced price, so they will get some income to the supporter club. They arrange travels to Old Trafford for Norwegian people with stays and tickets and everything. So they're doing a great job. But you know, in the protest against Glazers, it's silence.
Yeah. Big up Ryan. Ryan says the nuts of the rich is the bag of money. Yeah. Listen, big up to everybody. It is, to me, I see it that way too, guys. I genuinely see it that way. I think why when I ask myself, Mundo, you know, I've been going to protests. I went to the first one, and I think I've only ever missed one protest against the Glazers. And I don't know, I can't tell you which one it was. But honestly, I always think it's because to be in the crowd with like-minded people, because sometimes you think you're going crazy. I think, why am I so negative? Why can't the club succeed? What's going on? And you're like, no, the owners. It always comes back to the owners. Every single time it comes back to the owners. It comes back to the owners. So at the end of the day, when I look at this, I just like being in a crowd, Jarvis, being in a crowd, Mundo, with similar like-minded people who tell you you're not going crazy. Do you know what I mean? You're not going crazy. So it is what it is. Like, that to me is the biggest thing. And we sing songs, we get together. And that camaraderie in that space is beautiful because you're all fighting for the same cause. And for me, sit there and do nothing. I refuse. I refuse to be silent. I don't want apathy. Yeah. You know what the saying, the great saying always says, if you accept it now, your children will take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Big up to those fans that have protested all these years, and sometimes it's been a few voices only. But nonetheless, they've made a stand, and without that stand, I think things would have been far worse than they actually are. To be honest with you, I think, irrespective of what people say, like the Glazers don't care, they do care to a degree because the sponsors care, and people.
No, they care if you stop the football games. Oh my
Yeah.
word, Mundo, we've got it on good record that they were shocked that the fans entered the pitch and the game was called off. They were absolutely shocked about that.
And I think the handling of the recent MG situation, neither side, whichever side of the fence you sit on, is happy about how the club's dealt with it. The protracted sale, all of this stuff now, it's like it's like a volcano ready to erupt.
Facts.
It really is.
Something has to give.
Yeah, something has to give, and part of me doesn't want to believe reports coming out about them saying that they're going to go for 100% sale of the club. But can you imagine if they decided to stay? Can you imagine that announcement?
No chance.
It would absolutely go off.
No chance.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, no chance. I mean, to me, it'll be mad. It'll just be like more the green and gold scarves, the banners. They would all be all over the place.
Yeah, it'll go crazy, and you'll get. And the thing is now is that they've got celebrity. Well, I wouldn't say celeb, but they've got certain celebrities criticizing them over the MG situation. They've had MPs involved in that, and now there's a lot more dissenting voices coming from people connected to the club, ex-footballers, so on and so forth.
People at the club, Mundo, we're willing to go on strike.
Yeah,
and leave the football club.
So the walls are closing in. I just think the protest is, whatever form they take, whether it be in person, online, whatever, we just need to keep turning that screw. It might only move a small amount, but just keep turning, keep twisting. It might take a while, but yeah, the walls are caving in. Now, it's a moment of weakness for them now. They're in a bad spot. They really are in a bad spot. They've got themselves into this situation. FFP squeezing them. They're not able to take any money out of the coffers. The whole MG situation was a disaster, the way they dealt with that.
It was the biggest
disaster.
It was an absolute cowboy show. Clownish. That's what Manchester United are. Hold tight, cowboys. But it was like it's like the Wild Wild West. Manchester United are run like the Wild Wild West. We got Mohammed Hassan. He says, Nuruddin, they bent their rumours. Are they true? New backup keeper. Well, I have to see him wearing a shirt. Any Manchester United signing, I never co-sign it and go, yeah, it's true, it's happening. I always have to see them wearing a shirt, especially with this bunch, with Merton Madness and the crew. It's always conflict of interest. It simply is about priorities. Many fan base see things differently. People can disagree about the causes of our problems. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. But at the end of the day, for me, the record is there. The Glazers are the biggest problem. And there's only so much you can blind yourself to the real problem of this football club. The real problem of this football club. And it's everywhere you want it, the evidence is there. But go ahead, Jarvis.
Yeah, I was just going to say about the reserve goalkeeper situation. I read today that Onana is probably getting recalled up to the national team, and he will be away for 2 months this January, February, because he's going to the Africa Championship. African nations. So if they go all the way to the final, he will be away for 2 months. So then we don't have no goalkeeper in the most vital part of the season. So getting a good reserve goalkeeper is vital for us. I have heard good things about this guy. He played 5 games for the Turkish national team and is actually quite good with his feet. So I think this could be a good signing from what I've heard, but I've never seen him and I haven't studied him in a way. So I can't say for sure.
The only thing that I've heard about him in a slight negative way is that he is injury prone, very injury prone apparently for a goalkeeper. And that's saying a lot. But you know, we've not watched him, and after that was just a rumored thing that I heard people talking about how injury prone he is. But it is what it is, people. To me, if he goes and then the manager says to him, if Onana goes to the Cameroon to represent Cameroon African nations. And the manager says to him, I want you to play. I want you to play like this. He'll be back. Don't worry. He's a hothead. Unana. It's his way or the highway. So we've seen it all before, people, that he'll do that. Guys, there's over 230 something of you here, and it's only 119 likes. That's an absolute disgrace. That's an absolute disgrace. Big up. Says Glazers are staying. Glazers in will not watch United more in my life. If the Glazers are staying, I will not watch Manchester United. Yeah, I understand. We live for the dopamine world. There is literal genocide happening across the world, but we are just numb. We'll just hop on TikTok and forget our lives. Yeah, the hamster. That's true. That can happen. And hold out to anybody who's suffering globally out there, especially to the people in Hawaii, man. The fires, what I saw, the devastation, what happened there. It's absolutely incredibly shocking and so sad. People are still missing. But anywhere where there's conflict, Ukraine, anywhere in the world, we always stand in solidarity with people and love and light to everybody, man. Love and light to all the people who are drowning in the Mediterranean, people who are drowning in the Channel, close to the UK, people who are dehumanizing people right, left, and center. But we always stand with everybody with solidarity and love and light. That is the message from the Therapy Army. Big up to Jarvis and big up to Mundo. We've done our hour and 6 minutes here, people. It's been a good one. We just showed you and explained to you our points of views about the Spinfc. Spinfc. Here we go. That's all we are, Spinfc, honestly. And then all those people who were like, "Oh, Arnold out." Like, you ever thought? Who told you that guy was competent or knew what he was doing? It's like,
guys,
it's never too late.
Before we go, can I ask one question, right? If the transfer window closes and we do no more business, what do you think about A, the transfer window, and B, our prospects for the season?
I think we are effed, if you ask me. I think we are absolutely effed. We should have kept Fred for another year. I'm telling you now, if we're going with what we're going now, we should have kept Fred. We sold the Mac Fred. We sold the guy that is actually effective, not on the ball, but effective in terms of the energy that he gives to the football club. Like you know what I mean? That wholehearted, and he gives everything in terms of what he does. He's just that 1 minute he's Fred from Brazil, next minute he's Fred from Stoke. But for me, if we're done out here, then I can only see how hard it is. And I always said, ask Jarvis, I predicted it from last season. I said this season, Ten Hag is under a lot of pressure if they didn't back him. So it is. So for me, good luck on that one. To me, the biggest thing Ten Hag then will have to chase. I hope him winning a trophy last season might have done something for him. This season, he'll be like the style of play. Give the majority of the fans some style of football to get behind, regardless where we finish. That's what my advice to him. Go ahead, Jarvis.
Yeah, did you see Fred's goal in Turkey?
Yes.
It was a banger. Superb goal. Yeah. So suddenly everybody misses him. But I was going to comment on the spin.
I miss him, Jarvis. I miss him because he gives energy. He covered some of the deficiencies in our midfield because he gave energy and he came up for the last 15 minutes to help us close out games. I don't see anybody who can do that.
No, he can move his feet. We don't have many of those in our midfield. He has legs, as Giorgio says in the chat. I was just going to say, when you talk about media spins, did you see the Verratti rumors that came after the day we lost against Spurs? Suddenly we were linked to Verratti. Yeah. What the hell? It's just
an injury-prone guy as well. Another injury-prone guy who's there.
When it comes to Mundo's question, if we don't get any more signings, I think Ten Hag will get fired this season. That's how it will go. It never ending cycle, as Jay Daly was talking about on the show on the other channel an hour ago. It's a never ending cycle because rinse and repeat. We qualify for the Champions League, and then we don't back the manager. We're out of the Champions League. we back the manager to get back into the Champions League, but that's the main goal. We never aim to win, so it's very frustrating. And the fans, we believe in the projects, and when the manager don't succeed, we blame the manager, and it goes on and on and on again, and that's one of the biggest problems.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
I agree. I think I think I can seriously see us finishing outside the top 4 this year.
Yeah.
I'm worried about teams like Villa and Brighton. I think I could see them finishing above us. Just because the way that we've been playing and the squad as it stands at the moment, playing league games and Champions League, I just see that's a disaster for me. I can see us going Champions League and not getting out the group stages and stuff like that. Honestly, I could see, because our away form is absolutely abysmal. Right, and if all it takes is for us to get a not even like a top tier European team. We'll probably get one top tier European team in our group, and all it takes is for us to get like a Sevilla level type team, whether it be German, Spanish, or Italian, and I can see us struggling against them, home and away. So I'm really worried, especially with that midfield and how open it is, and our inability to score goals. I can see us if we don't make some. I mean, just get a striker in alone. Just get an experienced guy. Get flipping the guy from Atleti. What's his name? Portuguese. Who was at Chelsea last season?
Atletico Bilbao. Or Atletico Bilbao.
No.
The one who played in Chelsea, who was on loan.
João Felix. Just bring João
Felix. Yeah.
Just bring João. Just get him. He wants to leave Atleti.
But he set his heart on Barcelona, Mundo. He's waiting for Barcelona.
I know he's waiting for Barcelona, but he's never going Barcelona because they don't have any money, right? And they're trying to get rid of about 6 guys.
They want to pull another lever, mate.
Yeah, they want to pull another lever.
They run out of levers.
But he could go to Barcelona next season. Just get him Man United this season. Just get him. Just get another striker. Martial is not going to be available, right? We know that for a fact. So that leaves us with Højlund and Rashford. And Rashford stinks out the place playing as a striker. So if Højlund gets injured, we're screwed. We need a striker. We need 2 midfielders and a centre half urgently.
It's not happening, Mundo.
If we don't get
9 days, in 9 days, they're not going to get that.
And we're trying to compete in the league and Champions League. We're in trouble, serious trouble.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Nuruddin, before we go. I just want to say, I know that you're, as Irfan put it, you're a purist when it comes to football. You love the visual, beautiful part of the game, and you love attacking football, and you don't mind people that we lose, but the way we lose, you want people to give it all. That's how I got to know you and understand you. So, would you keep Ten Hag if we are outside top 4, but the football inside and the way we play improve?
Oh, 100,000,000%. Are you kidding me? He's going to have to build the team anyway. So why don't start the style now? And then the style can win. If the Glazers ever go, or we get new owners, or if they get a major investment and somebody else comes in. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? We have to start with a style of play. I don't envisage, Jarvis, United winning the Champions League or the league with a Glazer ownership. I don't. So I want in 10 years, I just want to watch my team play football. Like I said, I'm one of those who's me and Mundo and you can sing. We've seen it all. We've won the lot. Well, man, we're not going to stop. Yeah, but I want to see us play good football. We're not going to stop, but I want to see us play good football. And I'm sorry. That is the biggest reason why I wanted Erik ten Hag. I didn't want Poch. I wanted Erik ten Hag because of the football, his team, when I watched Ajax played in Europe.
Yeah. How about you, Mundo? Would you accept getting out of top 4 low trophies if the footballing side improves?
Absolutely. Klopp finished 8th one time in Liverpool. Pep scraped 4th with City.
Goal difference to Manchester United, yeah.
Yeah. Arteta finished 8th in 2 consecutive seasons. These things take time, and the thing that they had in common was they had a squad of players that wasn't fit for purpose. So they had to
get rid,
sacrifice to get their playing style in, which meant that they weren't competitive immediately, but slowly but surely they got there. And the playing style, and the reason why they were given that time was because the fans could see the direction of travel. And that's my issue at the moment with Ten Hag, is that I can't see the direction of travel at the minute. So I'm patient, and I will continue to be patient, but I need to see the direction of travel. I need to see, even if we're losing games 5-4 or winning 4-3, whatever, as long as I see a style, a pattern of play, the team playing us, trying to play a certain brand of football, I can accept that there might not be players within the squad that are fit for purpose for that style, which means that the results will be up and down. But the manager just needs to make a decision, because last season I saw 90 minutes of it against Tottenham at Old Trafford, and that was it.
That was it.
That's what I thought I was getting. What I saw against Tottenham at Old Trafford, I thought, yes, we've arrived.
Now, to be fair, City second half, we tore them apart as well. City
second half.
Liverpool, we did a job on them. We didn't have the possession, but we did a job on them.
No, but I'm talking about 90. I'm talking about 90 minutes, like a full game. And again,
it was patches.
Yeah, it was patches. And again, we have to be consistent, because we saw the same thing under Ole. We saw the same thing under Mourinho. We'd turn up for 20 minutes, 30 minutes in a game. With Ole, it was strange. Like we would go missing for an entire half of football. Like the first 45 minutes, we wouldn't be able to string two passes together. With Ten Hag, we saw a little bit of that as well, and then we kind of saw towards the kind of January onwards a bit of that old Fergie time, last minute, fighting spirits. We were like, yes, the players are behind it, on board, and so on and so forth. The fighting. They might not be on the best form, but they're showing some fighting spirit. But the start of this season, we're only 2 games in, so I don't want to be getting over dramatic and melodramatic about it. But this needs to change quickly, because we've got Arsenal coming up in 2 games' time, and if we get a hammering at the Emirates, we said last season on this show, and I'm sure other fans have said it, what happened to us away at Liverpool and City and so on and so forth, 7
Newcastle,
and 6s and 4s, that cannot happen. If that happens this season, that's when I'm starting to really doubt the manager, because that's unacceptable. So, but the way we started the season, I could easily see us taking 3s and 4s at Brighton and Newcastle and Arsenal. I'm going into those games, not thinking we're going into those games to win, but really concerned about us getting absolutely turned over. But if we went there and we played a certain brand of football, and we pushed those teams, and but we lost, I can accept that. But not those meek. Tottenham was meek. I'm sorry. I saw 30 minutes of something, which I'm not going to get gassed about. It was okay. It wasn't exceptional. And then after that, it was just absolutely atrocious. So the style of play has to fix up really quick.
Answer your own question, Jarvis.
Yeah, I'm in between. Some people are just in it for the results. Some people are like you, purists. They want to see beautiful football. When I was younger, I started watching football in 1986. There was two things that I always remember. The one was Maradona, the beautiful game he played, and the other thing was Denmark, because I'm Scandinavian, and Denmark was the only Scandinavian team who qualified. They played in 1986 championship, and they were brilliant in the group stage. They were playing their own style. They wasn't afraid. They had courage. They were trying to play their style all the way. They won one of the games 5-1, and Preben Elkjær, Mikael Laudrup, Jesper Olsen, a lot of those guys were superb, and they had courage, and they wanted to play their own style. When they came to the playoffs, they met Spain in the first round. Denmark were leading 1-0, and they were continuing playing their nonchalant style. They were passing in the defense, and everybody was just having fun. Suddenly, there was one bad pass. Emilio Butragueño, who played in Real Madrid, scored, and then everything collapsed, and they didn't wake up because they were too pure. They wanted just to play and have fun, like Brazil in 1982, one of the best teams with Socrates and all of those. So Denmark lost the game 5-1. So yeah, I see the argument of being a purist, but it's also about results, especially when it comes to football and high level. You need to win. So we need a little bit of both. I can't accept that we only play beautiful football and lose every game.
No.
We want to have results too. So yeah, I want him to improve, but I also want the results to stay. So I'm a little bit in between.
No, I understand that, and you gave a really great example, and that's tournament football as well. Shout out Denmark. They went and did it a couple of years later. You know what I mean? The only Scandinavian team to win a major trophy. Yeah. So representing Scandinavia, shout out to them. Yeah, by the way, they were on the beach, and then the war happened in Yugoslavia, and they came off a beach. And the two brothers, Brian and Michael stayed on the beach. Brian came off the beach, and he won the Euros. Michael will always have to regret that, innit? He will always regret the fact that he did, because he said, we got no chance, why are we going? But listen, it is what it is. At the end of the day, Jarvis, for me, I'm not saying Manchester United have to lose. What we're saying was that we'll take bad results if the football and the patterns of play, so then to get to and go. So we just want the good patterns of play. We're not saying play the beautiful game. We're saying we want to see a distinct style of football that's good, looks good and easy to watch, that can build on further, because that's what Klopp did. That's what Pep did. That's what most teams, most coaches who are allowed to build a team do. And so it's not just like, oh, well, let's lie down and have fun and have a laugh and play this open football. No, we're not saying that. What we're saying is show us good football so that it's easier for us to take the losses. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So when we get beat, it's easier because we know you haven't got all of the players that you want that can bring about the good football with the consistency of results. That's what we're saying. Yeah. And obviously the consistency of result comes over years. The average time to build, if you are not backed, especially if you're playing for Manchester United, if you're the manager of Manchester United with a football structure that we have and with the clowns that we have who own the club, is that it's very difficult to win anyway. So to win the big trophies, it's very difficult to win the big trophies, Jarvis. You have to have the whole club. The strategy has to be from the top to the bottom. Everybody looking at focusing on tunnel vision on winning. We don't have that. We got people who usually take out dividends and do all the PR and spin. So this is what we are. What we're saying is that we understand that we're not going to win a Champions League or the league title anytime soon. We want to see you build a team that has courage to take the ball anywhere, any place, Anfield, at the Etihad, every place, to go there and play and express itself. And if we lose, you know what? At least we could say, you know what? Look what we did. You know what I mean? We've got the heart and the bottle to go and play that style of football. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, and you've been consistent on that. You always say it's the way we lose. You hate when we lose, like we lost against Manchester City 6-3 when the players gave up in after 30 minutes, you know. And the same with Liverpool game. The players gave up in second half. It's not the way you lose. You want to see courage. You want to see people express themselves, as you say, and try their best. That's what sports. That's what sports is about. Competitive sports is about. Try your best.
For me, I want to say, listen, Manchester United didn't win every time we were winning big trophies. We didn't. We competed for the big trophies. But we weren't playing amazing football at the time. But times, Manchester United will turn up and put on a good result and show heart and fight and battle, like Mundo said. We showed that a lot of time last season. Just give me the effort so that I can see your try. I know that the manager doesn't have all the tools to fight against and compete against his big rivals. He hasn't got it. He can't get the players that he wanted. Kim Min-jae and Harry Kane. Massive spine, massive importance in the spine. Two players he targeted, wanted. Kim Min-jae, Harry Kane. No.
True. 100%.
I think Harry Kane was the guy that he first wanted. Manchester United like, no, we don't want to go in for this guy. And then Mount was the guy that, okay, we'll get you Mount though. And it's like, okay, get that done then. I don't think it was his first, Ten Hag's first thing. I think Harry Kane was his first number one target. Yeah, and Gravenberch and Amrabat are not going to... Yeah, I don't know. That might make the season a little bit tenable. But still, I don't think to be fair, Gravenberch, I've not watched him enough. He's a decent carrier of the ball, but if you are on the bench and you're not fancied in Germany, unless there's a preference from the manager, then it must be something else going on.
I would say Gravenberch, he actually reminds me a little bit of Paul Pogba in the way he plays football. He's very elegant, yes, good technique, yes, long steps.
He's a ball carrier. Yeah, he's a good ball carrier. But can we carry that? At the moment, we can't protect Casemiro.
No, that's the problem.
You want to bring has not got no defensive responsibilities in his game. No. Listen, love and light, everybody. Big up, love and light. Take care. I want to thank Mundo and Jarvis. So big up to everybody in the comments as well. Big up for everybody for the super chat. Big up everybody who got involved. Love and light, people. You're gonna get it. This is your real raw red pod. This is it. This is what it is. It's the real raw red podcast. So welcome. Big up to everybody. Love and like. Please let people know about the channel.
You have a super chat.
Oh, smash a like on the video. Alien Tenos says here comes with a super chat. Anyhow, and the Eagle had more balls than this United. Yeah, 100%. Eddie the Eagle. Eddie the Eagle, man. Oh, big up Eddie the Eagle. I watched the film. I actually watched the film and I watched a documentary about him as well. What a legend. Jarvis, quickly, please let us know, what did the Scandinavians think about Eddie the Eagle?
Yeah, he was crazy, you know. That guy who had like the big glasses, and he couldn't stand on his skis. And how he survived, I don't know, but he had more balls than this United. That's true. Yeah.
To repeat that bit again, Jarvis, you just dropped. So he said he had these big things. You're not supposed to wear that. So people were thinking, what the hell is he doing? And he couldn't stand on his skis, but he survived. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. It was crazy, but you know, it was really funny, and he was good for the sport, and
full of courage.
Yeah, he was, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, full of courage. But big up, people. You feel tired now. It's been a long day, people. It's been a long day. It's been a long season already. It's been a long season already, people. 2 games in and we're done out here. We're absolutely done out here in terms of energy. You see what happens, you know? They've done research, you know that, Jarvis and Mundo. They've actually done certain research where they measured, fans' levels of testosterone and dopamine levels while they're watching the game when their team wins, and when their team loses, what happens to them, and how the depression and the dopamine levels are lower, the testosterone is lower. Can you imagine that? We literally are feel energetically, we're so connected to our teams, to our football teams, and whatever's going on, unless we have so many, we can separate it and compartmentalize. It seeps into our lives. It's crazy. It's crazy.
If we win the Champions League or the Premier League, there will be a baby boom in Manchester.
Exactly. You know that, Jarvis. Everywhere where's Man United fans, people are getting busy. If you know, you know. Listen, big up Jarvis. Big up Mighty Mundo. Mighty Mundo will start tweeting when the Glazers go. I promise you. He'll be on Twitter like an absolutely. He'll be on it like a car bonnet. I promise you. He'll be
I've
on
already
it.
Got the tweets are written already, and all I gotta do is press send.
That's it. He's got them ready like bullets. He's gonna be firing them all over the show.
Yeah.
So check out Mighty Mundo.
You're gonna see some video footage of me as well doing some illegal
Absolute
stuff.
Madness. Exactly. Exactly. Big up Mighty Mundo. Go and check him out on there. Jarvis Cocker, Bowley 77 people. Pole 77. I'm Mr. Structure. I am your host, and this is the way you follow me. That guy Red Devil, Mr. Structure on Twitter. That guy Red Devil, Mr. Structure on Twitter, people. That's all. We bring a bit of structure. A big up to all the people that for the super chats, specifically those of you who love your fantasy football teams. Go to Manu FC Realist TV. Go on. You know what? Pit your wits against the OGs out here. You know what I mean? Jay, we've got Jarvis, we've got Mick. Go on, we'll join that league. Join that league, that fantasy football league, and see how you do. You know what I mean? Some of these.
You know what, Norin? I will put the league code in the non-live comments after the show, so people can go in there and please comment in the non-live comments too.
There you go, people. There you go. You can do that. And next time when you're on here, Jarvis, you can send me that details as well, and we'll put it on the comments. We'll put it on the videos. We'll save it on there. Big up, people. Love and light. Like I said, you can check out Jarvis at ManUFC Realist TV, and his Twitter is Bowley77. Mighty Mundo will be tweeting soon as the Glazers leave, and I can't wait for that time. And if you want to follow us, that guy Red Devil. We are 200 short of 8,000, which is a remarkable achievement for a protest channel. For a protest channel, we are 8,000. We are 8,000. We're 200 short of 8,000, which is an incredible. And we are forever all in gratitude to you, because this is our community. And that's why nobody goes through the chat like we do. Nobody, no other channels. I think, yes, at ATV, Managerial Realist, they do that as well. But we go through majority every comment, whether we agree or disagree. Big up, love and light, Dave. Love and light, Dave. And I love and light. But big up to every one of you. Please share, like, subscribe to the channel. Win, lose, draw, Glazers out, Bankers out. To the rest of the United fans, we've been waiting here for a long time, for almost a decade. But you know what? It's never too late to join us to get Arnold out. We always say, win, lose, or draw, Bankers out, Glazers out. We've always been saying it since the beginning of the first stream of this video. We've always been on point. We will always stay on the necks of the Glazers. We'll be there at the protest on Saturday. Hopefully people will stay and sit in and listen to 1958. But go and follow them as well at 1958 on Twitter and across all social media. Big up to those guys as well. Love and light. Always continuing the fight. That is how it is. That's how it is. Big up to Sheikh Ramadan Lassie. I think you got your results. You get your results tomorrow? Or you got them already, Sheikh Arian? Well, good luck with them anyway, whenever you get them. Love and light. Reconnect watching onto the cash with Lee Sharp. Big up, bro. Big up, everybody. Love and light. Please smash a like on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Love, light, people. Take care. Glazers out, Bankers out, always. Peace.